All right, and I think we should be good to go. Um, Everything good on your side, James? All
Yeah,
right, looks like
absolutely.
it's time to get started. Well, first of all, thanks everyone for attending and happy holidays. We really appreciate you guys joining us, especially right before Christmas. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brian. I'm the Associate Product Manager, guiding development on the CRM. So basically, I work with any and all things CRM just to make sure we're building something that works as good for you guys in the field as it does on paper. And then joining me is our product specialist, James.
Thank you, Mr. Brian. Excited to be here with all you guys. My name's James. I come from the industry just like you guys. I have a background on the blue collar and the office sides of the house. But lately, my days are, like Brian, just spent improving and maintaining MeasureSquare CRM. So hopefully this little peek behind the curtain will give you guys a better idea of where we're at and especially where we're headed this year. Back to you,
All
Brian.
right. So with the new year around the corner, we wanted to set the stage for some of the big projects we're going to be working on for the CRM in the first half of 2025. And then keep in mind, these are not all the things we're working on. As all of our users know, we love taking feedback, and as ideas and little improvements get shared with us, they end up finding their way onto our development list as well. Another thing to note is that I can't guarantee that all of these will be finished by mid 2025, but I know that we'll have working versions of all of them either on the way or in place. In fact, as we get through the webinar, you'll see some of these are actually a lot closer to being finished than you expect. With that in mind, the big features we want to expand on are inventory and sample tracking, reporting, notifications, Gantt charts, and ACH/card payments. James will be covering inventory, sample tracking, and reporting, and then I'll hop back in to cover the rest. Now, I'd love to say that we're working on all of these at the same time, but there is an order to the madness. So what that means for this webinar is that some features will have exact mockups and really clear plans of what we're going to build because they're already on the way, and other ones are more general feature lists living on a whiteboard or in one of our heads somewhere. And for all of these features that we're working on, if you are interested in being a part of that development throughout this webinar and at the end, we would love if you guys could reach out. We'll have these polls popping up in between each of our different sections, gauging your interest. And if you're curious or want to help out with that, you could fill in some contact info there too. And now that we've got all that out of the way, let's take a look at where we're headed for 2025. Mr. James.
So one of the most common requests from all of our users regards inventory tracking. And the way I see it, we're halfway there. The CRM already tracks your product data. It already manages your deliveries, including partial deliveries, and tracks the status of all your deliveries and orders. So in 2025, we'll be tackling this inventory problem head on. With the help of our knowledgeable user base, we'll be designing an inventory management system that lives completely within MeasureSquare CRM. Our inventory system will start with some simple features like just recording your stock in, stock out based on your purchase orders, and it'll likely include physical sample tracking as well. We've also received requests for all kinds of inventory related features like warehouse pick tickets, UPC or scanning functionality, and accommodations relevant to delivery routes. All of these features and more are currently being considered for a position on our 2025 pipeline. These inventory features in particular are still in the very early design phase. We haven't begun building this module just yet. So with this in mind, right now is the absolute best time to provide us with your feedback, guys. We're always on the lookout for tech-focused users who can help us design systems such as this inventory module. If you have any interest in giving us some insight on what you'd like to see out of our inventory management system, please feel free to contact us. We'll provide an email at the end of the presentation here, and we're always looking for that feedback. So now we're going to provide you guys with a quick poll relevant to the inventory and sample tracking. If you have anything you'd like to input, we're going to take this feedback very seriously. So if you have a sec, guys, that poll should be appearing shortly.
All right, looks like we've got answers in the polls if you want to move on.
Perfect. So inventory in particular, that one is still a few months away, but that's definitely not all we have for you on this webinar. Let's pivot over towards something that's coming a heck of a lot sooner, and that is reporting. So reporting's a big one. When an installation is done, you guys know better than anybody, the work on the job is far from over. A lot of manpower goes into the office side of the house. And even beyond the actual processes of building invoices and doing your closeouts, maintaining a clear overview of your project metrics and financial info is crucial is a crucial step towards tracking and building upon your company's success. Our new reporting module design aims to provide this overview in a way that's both useful and flexible. Those of you currently using MeasureSquare CRM know that our reporting module right now is fairly rigid in terms of the way it uses data, but our new custom reporting system is going to completely redefine reporting within MeasureSquare CRM. With the ability to select custom columns and filter your reports by any data fields, our new reports are going to blow the old ones out of the water. In our bidding report, for example, this would allow you to filter the report by estimator, by a specific time frame, such as by month or by year, by your bid amount, and much more. You can filter by any data point that's on the bid. In addition, you can easily utilize these reports with your backend teams using our built-in Excel export functionality. So all these reports are going to be exportable. You can configure your reports with the appropriate columns, arrange them as needed, and then export to Excel for further analysis. Excuse me. Our first major report, which will be able to report on data relevant to the bid inside and out, is already in the works. And this is actually scheduled to be released within the next week. So those of you guys who are waiting for it, you know that mid-December update, and that should be coming in the next few days. And for this one in particular, we actually have a mock-up from our development team for you guys here today, and that's this report that we're looking at here. So this is just one example, but it gives you a good idea of what the reporting system is going to look like very soon. So up top, we have a few filters: date range, owner, estimator. Essentially, there's just going to be a lot more of those up top where you can really filter by any of those data points, and you'll be able to rearrange the columns and export to Excel as needed. So after adding the bid-focused reporting, we'll be adding a similar function which will analyze all the data from your projects. So first is bids, then projects, and from there we'll implement reports based on the requests we receive from our current users. But the vast majority of these requests were focused on either bids or projects. Even though this particular update is about to be implemented, we could still use your help optimizing these reports moving forward. Guys, this is going to be a work in progress until this reporting system is absolutely perfect. So if you have any feedback or would like to send us examples of specific reports or reporting functions, please send those over. Like I said before, we'll provide that email towards the end of the presentation here. And the last part of reporting is our analytics. So as part of the push for enhanced reporting, we also have our analytics module, which we've added recently, and this is going to be getting some significant enhancements within 2025 as well. So the analytics module is meant to give your team a one-click glimpse into your company's metrics. Very familiar screen that most CRMs will include. So right now, this is kind of split into three sections, which you can see at the bottom there: sales summary, owner, and estimator. So that'll analyze your company data as a whole by estimator or by the project owner. So this may be modified moving forward, but the general idea here is to give management level users their own dashboard where they can view the entire company easily just at a glance. And now we have another poll for you guys relevant to reporting. So if you don't mind just taking a second to fill that out, that feedback is incredibly valuable to us, and we appreciate that.
All right, looks like we have a decent amount of answers. If you want to switch gears.
Yeah, I mean, so that's all I really have on the reporting side. So I will let Mr. Brian take it away with the notifications.
Right, all right, thanks for handing that over. Now, notifications may not be as complex and crazy as reporting or inventory, but I argue it is just as important. Now, this has been one of those things that we've been hearing a lot about, especially from the retail side or for our guys running MeasureSquare on their iPads. Our system helps you out by sending you emails on tasks you have and alerting you when someone tags you in a project, but there's no clean way to see what's going on inside of the system without having to hop between tasks and then projects and then different notes. So the remedy to this is a real notification system. The goal behind this notification system, it's all about speed and ease of use. It's a pain sitting there wondering if you're missing something or finding about a task too late because you check emails after you leave the job site. And there's no single hub to find all of your CRM related to-dos. So with our new notification system, you'll be able to set up notifications on things like tasks, people mentioning you, etc. And the nice thing is that it all shows up in one place, as you can see here. So we'll be adding this little bell symbol here. You can almost see links to all of the different things you're working on, and it makes navigation a lot easier. You can get where you need to go in an instant. On top of that, we'll be exploring options to connect these reminders to both your email and your phone number. Now, this is the first time we've had our CRM do anything related to RCS, SMS, or text, which is a huge step forward. For our retail guys who run a lot of their business via text or on iPads, this is going to grow into a lot larger of an opportunity. Depending on how this goes, this could open the door for other mobile and text features down the road, like text marketing or sending out texts for RFIs or different follow-up. Now, super quick there, I'm going to also send out another poll, and then we'll give you guys a couple seconds to check that out. All right, I'm getting some cool answers. So up next, we wanted to talk about Gantt charts. This is another really powerful improvement to how useful our tasks are. Now, we always encourage our users to track their day-to-day work in our system through the tasks, but what some of our users are running into is a screen that is loaded with a million different bars for the 1 million different tasks they have assigned, and it's hard to get a read on where the project is really at a high level. So with this feature or focus is really going to be cleaning up our tasks so you can group them together. What this means is you might have a pre-construction phase of a project, and that phase is 10 different items. Well, now you can group those 10 items into a box, and you can quickly see, oh, this is the phase that we're at within a project itself. This makes things a lot easier to see visually, as you can see here. So in here, you can see what major steps are going on inside a project without having to dive in too deep. From the screen, I can glance that we are in phase one of the project without having to see all the different tasks of phase one by one. However, if I ever need to expand it, I always have the choice to look at the individual tasks here. And now this is one of those features where we have a pretty solid idea of what we want in some drawings. So I would expect this to look maybe a little bit different when it's released. But the real goal of this is to make tasks easier so that all of our CRM, it really becomes the one place that you need to go for all of your day-to-day business. And then a couple more polls on the Gantt charts. All right. And now the last feature that we're looking at is ACH and card payments. And this is one that I'm very excited for. As a lot of you know, our CRM is a great tool for the sales side, for the project management side. It'll help you create invoices and all those different order forms. However, we kind of end at helping you email that form out as a PDF and maybe getting a signature. From there, a lot of our users have to copy that over to a compatible accounting software, and that's where they handle the actual transaction of money. What we want to do is change it so that from that email you send out with an invoice attached, users can not only just sign it, but they can pay you money directly using an integration with Stripe. This means one less thing that you need to hop out of our system for. It makes sales even easier to close because that email you send out with the order form pricing or with the invoice pricing, it's more than just a PDF, it's also a payment portal. Now, a fundamental change with this is that now when we send out those order forms, our system knows how much money you have received, how much you've sent out. And currently our system can't provide clear job costing or work in progress reports because we don't actually automatically see what money gets sent over and how much that money might be off by what you were expecting. And now with this information at our fingertips, your project dashboards can give you live updates on how much money you've got, how much money you're owed, and any adjustments to your bottom line that come as a result of this. And where this really leads is with WIP reporting. That's been a huge feature that we've been waiting on. And with the door open for this to be done accurately in our system, one of the things that we're looking at is if any users have WIP reports they want to send to us, that's a big part of ACH card payments as well. And I'll send out polls in case anyone's interested. All right. And while you guys are filling that out, we have a couple more things to cover. It's a bit of a surprise for you guys. We'll wait till we get just a couple more responses. All right, and last but not least, the big thing that everyone's been asking about and the big thing that we're going to be tackling in 2025 as a whole is artificial intelligence. Now, this part is kind of a blue sky. We're going to be looking at all the different things we can give you guys, as well as just, different ideas that we've thrown on the dartboard. And we really want to gauge you guys' interest. If you have ideas on how we can use AI, please send it to us. The sky's the limit. If you want it to send an email, we'll make it send an email. And first, we'll have James talk about natural language interaction. Take it away.
All right, thank you, Brian. Yeah, excited to go through this AI stuff with you guys. And AI features in particular, it's not really as straightforward, right? It's not like we're adding a section to track your inventory. We're literally teaching a computer how to do something, right? So it's a little blurry in some cases. I think this is a pretty good example of that. So we have something great coming called natural language interaction. So essentially, the idea is you can communicate with the CRM using natural language, colloquial, phrases you would use on an everyday basis. So we have some good examples here. Like example, what was our best-selling product from last month? So in essence, you could type this message to the CRM. The AI and the CRM will read the question and pull that data. We'll provide you with a list of your top 10 products from that month. And that's just one example, right? I have a few more examples here, like how many jobs have we bid for XGC this year? So this kind of stuff you're going to be able to ask directly to your CRM and have it provide responses. So for high-level users who don't get that much time in the system and don't really know how to navigate the screens, this will be a great tool. Or even for entry-level users, people who are just starting, if they need some help, the AI will really be able to provide some lift there. So definitely an exciting feature there with natural language interaction. After that, we have follow-up automation. So a large part of our goal with AI is to provide automation and reduce manual input. So this feature tackles that goal. We're currently training the AI to identify certain thresholds, such as a bid follow-up date, and use that information to automate your daily processes. So for example, 5 days after sending a bid, the system could automatically remind you that you should send a follow-up email, as well as use your pre-programmed email template to actually send that follow-up. So some really cool stuff coming here, guys. And that's not all. Brian has a few more AI features to bring you through before we finish up here.
All right, let the AI continue. So the next thing we're going to talk about is an AI chatbot directly into the CRM. It kind of goes hand in hand with what James is talking about with natural language interaction. But whereas what James is talking about helps you with questions like, who's our best salesperson, or, how many of this was sold, this is going to have a support focus. So we actually already have a working version of this in the works on our company website. And that's going to help you answer any types of support questions. It'll give you articles to recommend. Um, and what this means is that, while you're pulling your hair in front of our CRM, trying to customize a bid, once we have that chatbot in place, you can ask it something like, how do I hide my margins on my bid? How do I format X order form to look like Y? And you'll get a live response right there. And even if you don't like that answer, it also makes it easier to create support tickets because you don't need to leave our website and create an email. It'll help you create it from our CRM. And then not to get too technical, but this CRM chatbot is going to be really focused on our CRM features. It's going to be highly trained on just how to operate that system. So that means that the kind of intelligence it has related to AI in our CRM is just way higher. And last but not least, we have our lead qualification feature. Now, our CRM is filled to the brim with useful data about which leads work the best for you. As you win projects, our system can find patterns in everything from the location and job size to patterns in the response time or the GC's company stats. And using all that data, it'll be able to provide a score on each lead, as well as a list of all the data it used to get that answer. You can kind of see an example of that in this screenshot right there. And then it could even suggest follow-up actions. So it links up with that follow-up automation that James was talking about to help you set up reminder emails. It could help it schedule. So, hey, if all the winning projects always have, no more than a week and a half response time, let's set up an email to send out in a week and a couple days. So these are just some of the AI features that we have. And without all of that exciting stuff out of the way, I'm going to switch gears to Q&A. Before we start that, you have both myself and James's emails there. If you have any questions, send it to us. You could also send questions to crm@measuresquare.com. Likewise, if you're interested in learning about that stuff, or helping us out with development, please shoot us an email there. And then we have one last poll for you guys. It's just going to be a bit of a meta poll on which features you like the most. Try and keep the multiple choices down to your top 3, just so we know what to prioritize first. And then one last thank you for everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed some of these cool features that are coming up, and I'm hoping that we can bring these to you as fast as possible.
Really great to have you guys here. Appreciate it.
All right, let the Q&A trickle in. Let's see. All right, all right. So does anyone have any questions about these? Anything off the top of their heads? Is X feature going to have XYZ in it? Anything like that? Kat has a really good question on the reporting analysis page. Maybe I can go ahead and find that slide for you. On this page, will you be able to eventually click in on each section? That is exactly what we're working on next. The way it works now is it's just a visual, but it's not telling you the data that goes behind it. Right now, we're working on a cleaned up version where when it says won lost, I can click into it and I could physically see a list of all the won projects, a list of all the lost ones, and then I could see different pieces of data around that. Thank you for that one, Kat. All right, all right. Well, I'm not seeing too many. Oh, I see. Will you be able to assign owners so that salespeople will only see their own analytics? This is actually going to be part of a really cool feature coming out in that mid-December update, where we're going to have not only owners, but a project members or assignees list. So there might be a project owner, but they could assign a salesperson to that project, an estimator of the project, and they could assign each of those people their respective roles. That way, salespeople can only see their own analytics. Different things like that will plug into the roles and permissions there. Another one from Kat, is there a way to add pinning notes to the top? Funny you mentioned that. That one is on the way as well. What she's referring to is in each of your project sections, there's a notes area where you can leave a bunch of messages. And naturally, as it fills up, it's kind of hard to scroll down to the most important messages. So we are actually currently working on a way to pin certain messages to the top so they always stay up there, no need to scroll down. And that should be coming in mid-January, if I'm not correct. James, you might be able to check it out. And if it's not mid-January, it'll be probably mid-February at worst. All right, all right. Well, we only have a couple more minutes slated, so if there's not too many questions after that, one last thank you to everyone for joining. And you guys will get an email afterwards and follow up in case anyone's interested. And we'll have a really cool survey in there too. There's a couple other ideas that we're exploring, so excited to have your feedback on that as well. And as you guys leave, thank you guys for attending, and happy holidays.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate your time today.
All right, a huge thank you to Kat. Thank you for the messages. All right. With that being said, I think we'll close up the webinar, and I will see you guys all around.
Have a good
Take
one,
care.
guys. Thanks.